Hey, what's up, man? It's Immortal Technique. Here with Mikey T, the movie star. We are live on Report Card Radio, motherfucker. You already know.
Is it true that your incarceration pushed you more seriously into rap?
It's funny, I've never been asked that, but I would say absolutely because when I was incarcerated, I would battle people, and so it didn't seem as scary or intimidating. And I guess now everybody from my freshman class of like battle champions out there knows that I wasn't stressing none of y'all because I was battling in cell block B before y'all. So what kind of embarrassment could I have had but to lose in front of a bunch of other prisoners where my manhood was way more on the stand? I don't mean that literally, but like people would look at you like, oh, he's a sucker. He got roasted by a homie from cell 32A. Like, you know, that's how it was. So for me, I literally came out of that kind of culture. Like I'd be in a weight room and somebody'd be like, yo, this dude is nice. And I'd be like, no, he's not. And they'd be like, all right, and they would bring him up. And 9 times out of 10, homie, when a person would tell me somebody was nice, they weren't. And 1 out of 10 times, I ran into somebody when I was incarcerated who was actually skilled. But here's the interesting part. I only ran into one person, one dude, who had stamina to be able to rhyme. That was the other part that really honed my skills when I was freestyling as like a junior high schooler or like a high schooler before I was incarcerated, is that we would just freestyle for a while and I would learn to be able to structure stuff. Or when I had bars, I would write tons of bars, like 60 bar verses. They were so long and like just full of curses and anger and rage and what was going on in my life at the time. So I just think that even the people that were incarcerated, they weren't ready for that. Right? They thought, oh, I'm going to look cool and I got 1 or 2 punchlines that I can hit them with. But if I just keep coming back with more jabs and punches and, you know, all of a sudden I start belittling your family and I can freestyle off the head, it's very hard to beat a person like that. Especially a person who understands the dynamic between the party MC and humor and also brutality and anger and like passion. Those 2 things put together are a super dangerous combination for anybody that's artistic or expressive. You know, to show that dichotomy of saying, hey, I can be so fucking mean that you want to punch me in the face, but at the same time, I'm going to be so funny that you can't do nothing but laugh at my jokes. So I think that's advantages that I really didn't have. And also, if I can just add one last thing to that, when I got out of being locked up, it was very hard for me to find employment. And a lot of people slammed the door in my face. And being a kid that came from an immigrant background, I'm going to be honest, I've always had a job since I was 11 years old. When I was 11, I went to go help my father's friend, and I used to work repairing TVs and VCRs, and no one has them anymore, but Walkmans. I could repair a Walkman with my fucking eyes closed. The VCR was simple. It was usually the idler wheel or one of the heads of the VCR was dirty, and you just had to clean it with alcohol, and that was 8 out of 10 problems. But the interesting thing is this, so I couldn't get a job when I got out. And that was really disturbing to me because I'm going to be honest with you, I had a job in college, I had a job in high school, I had a job in junior high. So I always had some kind of gig. I was always like, hey, I got to get like a hustler. So I thought to myself, man, what the fuck am I going to do? And then, you know, I saw some flyers, win battle contest, $200, win this battle, $500. And you know, one of these battles that I won, a kid came up to me. Actually, it was an Asian dude, and he had a girlfriend that I knew. I didn't know her well, but I seen her around the scene, a chick with dreads. And basically, the 2 of them were just hanging out. I think they came up to me after the battle, and they asked me. And it's so, I remember, I have a super good memory, but for the fucking love of God, I can't remember their names. And maybe I forgot purposefully, or maybe they were just guardian angels of mine. But these 2 people came up to me after the battle and they asked me, they were like, so where can I buy your CD? And on parole in 1999, I thought to myself, man, well, if these clowns can make an album, why can't I? You know, and I had always kind of configured making an EP or making some songs out of the stuff that I had written while I was incarcerated. But here came the first evidence that people were asking me, when can I get the album? And, you know, fast forward to now, which is the only thing that I hear from fans. When can I get the album? So I'm coming full circle.